All right, welcome back to the channel. Teofimo Lopez, the IBF 135-pound champion, says that Vasily Lomachenko he is in Lomachenko's head and that Vasily Lomachenko feels threatened and that he's going to knock out Vasily Lomachenko. I don't buy part of that. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome. We're back to talking about these lightweights, man. Thank you so much for talking of lightweights during this time of the quarantine, because that's what we get to talk about. A whole lot of he said this, he said that. What do you think the truth is? And this is one of those circumstances in boxing that I love to talk about, because I really do like both of these fighters, man. Very, very big on both of them. Vasily Lomachenko is an absolutely excellent fighter. Don't let anything that I've said about his hype, about, all the hype around him and all of the extra stuff people put on it, to get in the way of the fact that Vasily Lomachenko has been one of the best fighters in boxing for years now and is a great fighter without a doubt, man. You can look at what the dude does in the ring, and the dude is an absolutely positively terrific fighter. Now, though he is a terrific fighter, he is not ageless. He is not timeless. He is not, he is not Captain America. He ain't been seized. You can't put him in some type of freeze chamber and preserve his ass forever and have him jump out and make a movie. That ain't gonna happen. He's a 31-year-old dude who is getting a little bit long in the tooth, who is gonna be coming up against a young, very ferocious tiger in the name of Teofimo Lopez. Now, Teofimo Lopez, knowing this, Teofimo Lopez is the bigger guy. He's the younger guy. He's the guy that has a lot more to prove. And he's talking about the fight between Vasily Lomachenko and himself. He believes that he has a big time advantage, a mental advantage over Vasily Lomachenko. So, and why does he believe this? He believes it because Vasily Lomachenko is talking back to him. So his thing is, I must be in his head, or my father's in his head, because when my father's talking smack about beating him or I'm talking something, Vasily Lomachenko's actually talking back. So he must feel threatened. He must feel something, right? So he's feeling like, that there's some agitation behind that with Vasily Lomachenko, some irritation, and that therefore there must be some lack of confidence. You get the whole thing, man. This is what I think. I think Teofimo Lopez is telling himself something that he wants to believe, but I don't believe at all. Okay. First of all, let's look over, let's address whether or not Vasily Lomachenko, whether or not it's unusual for Vasily Lomachenko to talk trash. I assure you, it is not. Vasily Lomachenko, you can look at the media version of Vasily Lomachenko. Now, first, Vasily Lomachenko, his English is getting better. His English is getting better. So now he can hold pretty good conversation. I won't say lucid, it's the wrong word. He can hold pretty decent conversations in English. Now, every once in a while, he might need to talk to his interpreter and ask him, for a specific word to say, but he's getting better. However, that's not his first language. He's not going to be as free with that as he's going to be if he was speaking. I do believe they speak Russian in the Ukraine. But whatever the name of his language is, his native tongue, he's not going to be as free flowing in English as he is in his native tongue. It's just what it is. And he's been a big star for a long time, or been a boxing star for a long time. So he knows what to say and what not to say in front of a camera, to look. But dude, that's not Vasily Lomachenko. Okay, the proof is in the pudding with Vasily Lomachenko with what he does in the ring. And I'm telling you, Vasily Lomachenko is a cocky, cocky dude. Vasily Lomachenko will talk all kind of craziness in a fight. Do you forget when he's fighting people and he starts doing his matador thing? You remember when he against Miguel Mariaga, when Miguel Mariaga was moving too much, he walked back to the corner and waved Miguel Mariaga into him. Do you remember all of that? Do you remember when Rigondeaux was trying to get a fight with him and he said that he was gonna roll over Guillermo Rigondeaux like a tank? Vasily Lomachenko is not some real humble dude, man. Vasily Lomachenko is a crap talker. That's what you do. There's a lot of people in there. If they're gonna beat you, they're not gonna do that in a ring. Okay. As many times as I've seen Floyd Mayweather Jr. is one of the more arrogant dudes that there is in boxing, man. He didn't play a lot in the boxing ring. If he was beating you up, he was beating you up, he was getting you out of there. He seemed like it was very few times where you see a lot of showboating out of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And people considered him to be a cocky fighter. So when you have a guy that's doing andale, waving people in, doing all kind of looking to the crowd, doing all that, he does as much of that. He does as much of that as other fighters that are looking out into the ring, talking to Roy Jones Jr., looking in the ring, talking to people while he's beating people up, laughing, sticking his tongue out. Dude is a very, very cocky fighter, man. So I wouldn't take anything from the fact that he says something to you when you say something to him. That's just what he is, man. Now, and so I don't think that Teofimo Lopez should rest his hat on that. That said, though, what I've been saying about this fight is it remains consistent. Okay, I think Teofimo Lopez. I'm leaning towards Teofimo Lopez winning this fight. Leaning towards it, and I'm leaning towards it for a couple reasons. One is the reason that in the boxing ring, it's something that Teofimo Lopez said that I think is real. First, Teofimo Lopez is a for real fighter. Okay. And that power, there's not a lot of guys at a lightweight class like that can hit somebody and make that person's legs twitch. When he can hit you with something and it is completely lights out. Teofimo Lopez has exceptional power for the lightweight division, and I've not seen a lot of lightweights with power like that. Now, the last time I saw guys with power like that at lightweight might have been, and somebody can correct me if there's somebody in between that you've seen that I'm missing, but the first guy that pops in my mind is Shane Mosley. Because Shane Mosley at lightweight was super fast and could absolutely positively sleep you at lightweight. Now, Teofimo Lopez doesn't have the speed of a Shane Mosley, but the power in both hands, hey man, his power is there with 135 pound Shane Mosley. Right? Shane Mosley got so much pop at 135, he can skip 140, go right to 147 and still buzz people. You know what I mean? So I think Teofimo Lopez has that. When Teofimo Lopez talked about, how he actually said he was going to knock out Vasily Lomachenko. And he said he doesn't know whether, he was talking about Richard Comey. And he said that he knew he was going to knock out Richard Comey. He just didn't know which hand it was going to be. He didn't know whether it was going to be the right or the left. And he didn't figure out it was going to be so soon. He figured that round through 4 through 6, he would know him. He would be knowing what he was doing. And at that point in time, he could get him out there. But Richard Comey, who's is not known to be tough. Richard Comey was a tough fighter, man. He's a tough fighter that can take a shot. And he just gone against Teofimo Lopez at that weight class. That right there is a reason why I say, man, Vasily Lomachenko's not fought anybody like that. So he got dropped in between switching, trying to switch angles and got caught in the middle, which is what people would call a rare error on the part of Vasily Lomachenko. What I say was it is just him losing speed. That if he was 3 or 4 years younger, that's where he got caught against Jorge Linares. He might not have gotten caught before. That's just a portion of age. But anyway, he got caught and he got dropped by Jorge Linares. And then what's his plan B? His plan B, if he can't switch angles on you, is to walk to you and start throwing body shots. No, he cannot do that versus Teofimo Lopez. If he's walking forward towards Teofimo Lopez, slipping shots just by inches and looking to land body shots and heavy shots, dog, he is in the middle of major artillery coming at him. But even if he's able to overcome that, still, the whole thing about the age, the whole thing with him being a rising star and Vasily Lomachenko kind of coming down as far as popularity and being somebody that you can continue to build your promotional company off of, it just seems to me that would be a good exchange for Top Rank to say, yeah, we got Vasily Lomachenko. He's the best. He's been, the quote unquote one of the best in the world since back into 5 years now. 2014, I think he might have won his first title in like 2014 against Gary Russell Jr. That's 6 years. I mean, you're not going to get another 6 years out of him. He's not going to get 12 years out of Vasily Lomachenko. Now with him cutting and all that. Hey, man, if the benefit of the doubt is if you can weigh anything in favor of Vasily Lomachenko in favor of Teofimo Lopez to get that fight, which I think you would be naive to believe Top Rank doesn't know how to do. I think that they'll do that, and that's why I'm leaning towards Vasily Lomachenko. Leaning towards Teofimo Lopez in that fight. But I do not believe that Vasily Lomachenko is intimidated by Teofimo Lopez or he's in Teofimo Lopez is in his head. None of that. Vasily Lomachenko is way too much of a professional, too much of a champion for that to affect him, man. Way too much experience. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.